Hello, 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 everyone. It's Jen with Roxy Bonds Creates, and this is a surprise live, but I really have been wanting to share with you my calendar for 2025. Are you somebody who uses a paper calendar or a wall calendar still, or are you just have it all digital, or you have it all in a little pocketbook? I love having a wall calendar. And so for the last, I don't know, probably close to, well, for as long as I've been scrapbooking anyway, I have been making calendars for myself and for my mother and for my mother-in-law. And I make them for Christmas. And it happens to be one of the favorite gifts that both sets of grandparents open every year. So I wanted to show you what I did, how I did it, how I've done it in the past. And so let's get going. So this is a blank calendar that I purchased through Close to My Heart. Close to My Heart carried these for years and years. And I happened to, actually, I had to go find 3 of them for this year, but so you can decorate the front. I have decorated the front in the past, and I don't do that anymore just because it's kind of, for me, it's kind of a waste. But let's take a look at the whole calendar. I can show you what it looks like completely open. So I'm going to turn it sideways. It's not going to look, correct, but it's sideways so that you can see the whole thing. So it's a 12 by 12 on the top, and then on the bottom part, it is, this one anyway, is pre-printed with the month, and then it has the days of the week. And then what I do is I go in and with a Sharpie pen, this is like my favorite Sharpie, or my favorite pen like in the world, but it's a Sharpie ultra fine point permanent marker, and I love the way this like works. It's great for journaling. I use them all the time, but I love using these. And I just write the dates. So I go through a calendar and I make sure I start, like January 1st was on Wednesday, and I write them all out. And then what I do is, and I'll show you this in a couple different, actually I'll turn it and show you. I stamp just a few things on some of the dates. So I'll stamp a heart when it's somebody's anniversary. I'll go through February. If it's somebody's birthday, I will stamp like a cake or a party hat, or something that says birthday. I will stamp the holidays. So this one happens to be Valentine's Day. And then I'll show you for March, St. Patrick's Day, I always do some kind of an icon. So I go through and do that. But let me share with you the months that I did and the layouts for each month. So this is January's. And what has happened in the past is when I very first started creating these calendars, I created them by hand, by scratch. I would create just a single page layout, and I will take photos from the previous year. So this is January 2025 calendar, but these photos are from January 2024. And I like to use photos from like a year ago. For my calendar, I will use obviously photos of my family. For the calendar I give to my mom, I will include photos of like my kids with their cousins, on my mom's side. So these are my brother's girls. And then for the calendar that I do for my in-laws, obviously I'm not going to put, children that are not their own grandchildren, but I will include pictures of my other niece on those if I have them. So if I don't have them, then I obviously just put photos of my own family on there. This is January, so this comes from a lot of what the calendar is for this year. I was able to use a lot of like new Stampin' Up stuff, and then also utilize some past layouts that were Close to My Heart product. But this is a Stampin' Up layout. This is using the Wildly Flowering paper collection. I created my own title in Cricut and use some die cuts on this. I try to keep them pretty simple because I don't want them to be lumpy bumpy with a lot of embellishments, because as you see on the other side of the calendar, so this right here is the January page that you could write on, but on the other side of that is going to be the February layout. So I don't want to be writing all over embellishments and things like that. This one here is February. So this one I created you know, so I'll create 3 sets of these, right? So this one I created using the Marbled Elegance papers, which are an online exclusive that's available now. I used just some die cuts, and these are like really flat embellishments. And then these are photos from February of last year. What has happened in the past with Close to My Heart is they created calendar kits. And so that made it very, very easy for me just to put together a single page layout, slap it on to the calendar page, and then add my own photos. In the last couple of years, obviously this past year, they didn't have any calendar kits, so I've been using my own. This layout happened to be part of a 2-page spread that was a workshop kit from Close to My Heart. I think it was Honey Bunny, but this one just had like some, you know, really nice spring themed and colored pages. And so I was able to pull a single page from this one. So the companion page from this went on one of the other calendars. So this one was on mine, but like the second of the 2-page spread went on to either my mom's or my mother-in-law's. I can't remember. One of the other calendars. And then I was able to pull a single page for the 3rd calendar. So some of my calendars that, or some of the months that I do will be the same. Like all 3 of the calendars had this layout, and all 3 of them had this one from January. So it's all the same. But then some of them had different pages like this one. So the photos will be the same, but the pages might look different. Okay, so this is March. This one is April. This one I created just by hand, like from scratch, not by hand. Obviously, they're all handmade, but from scratch. So I just pulled in colors and patterns that matched the photo that I wanted to use for the month of April. This one is May, and I used this layout. This is a Soda Pop, was the paper collection that was put out by Stampin' Up. And I created a workshop kit with Soda Pop. And so what I was able to do is I was able to pull that whole workshop. So it was 3 double-page layouts. And I was able to put this one, and then the companion went on to a 2nd calendar. And then I was able to pull another one of the layout kits for the 3rd calendar. And then I'll show you, I used all 3 of the 2-page layouts, but I just kind of like mixed and matched the pages onto the calendars. So each calendar had 2 of the layouts from this collection. That probably doesn't make any sense, but you'll see that I used similar colors and patterns from this paper collection on a different month. So this is the month of May. A big, lots of events happen in May for us. This was June. Of course, it was graduation, so I pulled some graduation papers and made just a single page. So all 3 calendars had the exact same layout and the same photo. This is July. This again this is Enjoy the Ride paper, and it was from, let's see, Stampin' Up put this one out. It's a Close to My Heart design paper, but Stampin' Up put it out in the summertime. And this one was a layout that was in one of the one of the workshops for this collection. And what I did is I made a single page, but I made it 3 times. So I was able to pull the papers and some of the stickers. So each one has different stickers, and then just add a little bit of bling there. And I made this single page 3 times. So each calendar has this one. Here is another one that features the Soda Pop paper. So this was a single page from that same workshop kit that I did. So again, it made 3 double-page layouts. So one of them was this double page. Another one was wherever that went. This one double page, and then there was a 3rd one. So between the 3 calendars and the 6 pages, I was able to pull, mix, and match and throw them onto the calendars. So that a whole workshop kit went into the 3 calendars, which was kind of nice. So this is August, of course, beginning of school. September. So this one is also from a workshop. This was a flowering zinnia layout. So on this calendar, I have 1 page. On another calendar, I had its companion page. And then on the 3rd calendar, it might have been just a random single page layout. So sometimes I do that where I just pull like random layouts from my stash to make the 3rd calendar. If I was making 4 calendars, it'd be a whole lot easier because then I could just do 2-page spreads on both of them. So, but I only do 3. So this is September. This is October, and this was let's see, this one was called Halloween Memories, and Stampin' Up put this one out. It's actually currently available, and what I did is I just took the pattern papers from it and some cardstock and just kind of designed a simple layout with Halloween like colors, even though these photos had nothing to do with Halloween. But I thought, you know, it's the month of October. I want to at least feature like the month and then make the photos work. So I thought it worked for the month of October. I did actually design a layout, a flip-flap layout at that with these papers and this design. And so I was able to just mimic that design that I had already created with a different layout and just put them onto these 3 calendar pages. So this is October. November's, this one is from Autumn to Remember paper collection that Stampin' Up put out. Again, this was part of a workshop that I did. So it was a 3 double-page layout workshop, and I was able to pull a double-page spread and then a single. So out of the 6 pages, I only used 3 of them. So then the other 3 I can still scrapbook with. But this one features, you know, all of our things from November. November's also a very busy month for us. And then December, you will find this one to be very familiar because this was my December layout. And this one, I created 3 sets of these. And so I did this tree with the Reindeer Days papers in the live demo yesterday. And I may have mentioned, I'm not sure, that I had already created a layout with this tree. And so here it is. And it's part of my calendar. I do have a photo that I'm going to put here. I just haven't printed it yet. I was able to literally, the day that I gave the calendar to my in-laws, took a photo, printed the photo, and slapped it on their calendar when they opened it. And so that's like how last minute, you know, the photo is. But it was just a picture of the kids from the month of December. So, you know, when I create them that close to the holidays, sometimes I don't always have the pictures, you know, already in advance. And so I literally told the kids, hey, I got to take a picture of you so I can print it out right now and put it in the calendar for Grandma and Papa. So that's what we were able to do. But this one features, instead of the Reindeer Days papers, actually this one's Reindeer Days, but it features a couple different collections. I use Seasons of Green and Gold for most of this. And then this one is a specialty paper. I can't remember what it's called, but it's got like gold with the beige in it. And then the same thing, I just cut the tree, I embossed the trunk and sanded, and then I added my little gold star. I splattered on the paper. On this one, I did a little bit of paper tearing just to kind of add a little interest up there. And then a stamped image from one of the Christmas themed bundles that was available in the current mini catalog. So, and then of course I splattered my background. So this is my calendar for 2025. And I really did this in a matter of like 2 weeks, pulling, you know, layouts that I had already created, like this one, and then just deciding on which photos I wanted. Some of them I had to create like as I went. So this one is one of those that I just had to like create it and put it together. And again, like layouts that were in my stash, workshop kits that I had done that were pretty generic that I could just add photos to. And so it happened to work out really well. I, you know, kind of toy back and forth with, am I going to do the calendar? Am I not going to do the calendar? I'll show you some more of the stamped things, like just, you know, the holidays and birthdays and anniversaries is really all I stamp on there. I don't get too crazy and like, I don't write whose birthday it is. I just stamp it. And then they know, like the 29th of May, that's my daughter's birthday. And the 31st of May is one of the anniversaries. So I got a call from my mom. I think it was I don't know, like the first week of December or something. And she said, are you making me a calendar or do I have to go buy one? And I was like, I'm making it. But I toy back and forth with, you know, whether or not to do it. And then do I want to like jump in and do it digitally? I'm not like, I'm pretty tech savvy, and I'm very competent, you know, with like a lot of programs. It just takes me a long time to like get it to where I want it. And I'm kind of a perfectionist when it comes to stuff like that. So if I can do it with paper, that's more in my wheelhouse. And so that's kind of where I'm more comfortable. So that's where the calendars come from. Like I said, I've been doing these for as long as my kids have been around. So we're talking like 17 years worth of calendars. Oh, and what I wanted to tell you is when I'm done with the year, like I just pulled down 2024's, I will cut each page off. Like I'll tear it off of the spiral, and then I will cut off like that little torn edge, and I put them in an album. So not only do I have my regular scrapbooks, but then I also have like just the year to year calendar pages in like separate albums. So I'll just do like the calendar. It'll be like probably at least 3 years worth of calendars in one album. So that way, like it's just a quick glimpse year to year of our family. So thank you for joining me. I know this was kind of an impromptu live, but I wanted to share the calendar because it is a project that I do love. And I say every year, and I've even said it already this year, that I really should just do it month by month. Like I should just take and I've done it as a class before. And so if you think this is something that you'd be interested in doing like a calendar club with me, let me know, because that might actually, force me to do it month by month. But I've always said like, hey, you know what I should do is I should just create a single page layout, pick the photos at the end of the month and put them on there. And then that way, when it comes time for December, I'm not scrambling to make 36 pages and print out, hundreds of photos to put on these calendars. Like I can just do it month by month, save them, and then add them to a calendar, when I'm ready, or even add them to the calendar, like as I go. So I keep saying that, but of course I haven't done it yet. So if that's something you're interested in, I can most definitely, start designing and doing that. And as you can see, the pages the photos, I'm sorry, like the photos don't always fit. This one does, but they don't always fit the colors and the scheme. I mean, this one's, kind of bright and colorful, but like I've got this bright red photo on there. So they don't have to mix, or they don't have to necessarily go, but a lot of times they do. So I think it's more fun when it does that. But of course, it's not always going to work like that. So anyhow, thank you for joining me and going through my calendar with me, and have a wonderful rest of your day. Love ya. Bye.